Hey guys, what's up? NFL Weekly back to you again. And today's episode is going to be focused on why I believe not Wentz, not Brady, and Russell Wilson should be the NFL MVP this season. If you look at stats, if you look at Carson Wentz, if you look at what he's done, he's been prolific. He's had overall quite outstanding rating, amazing yards, great interception TD ratio. You look at Tom Brady. You look at his TDs. Less. However, his ends are less also, and he has more yards. Personally, I think Brady right now is the better QB than Wentz. He just is. I think that because if you look at the overall setup of the Philadelphia Eagles, they still got really good running backs, defense. Brady doesn't really have an amazing defense. And though he doesn't have as many touchdowns, 3 less, he has quite a few more yards and less interceptions overall, which creates a better rating. So I think he's better. But why do I think both of these QBs aren't even close to what Russell Wilson is? Bam. Stats. Right off the bat, 26 TDs. This is not to mention his rushing TDs, which he's gotten 3. The problem with Wilson, though, I think the biggest problem we all know is the ends. That's kind of a lot if you're going to be considered an MVP in the in the earlier, not early, but, you're still close to the end, but you still got some games left. And 8 interceptions unacceptable to many people's eyes. But in my eyes, I see Russell Wilson as the MVP. Most valuable player. That's the name, and that is the title. Russell Wilson easily fits it. Seahawks sure don't have as good a record as Tom Brady or Wentz and their Eagles or the Patriots, but it's about the player. And his stats are pretty decent, considering he has second rushing yards and passing yards he's a top 5 QB, period. Not to mention his offensive overall quality is much less than the Patriots or Wentz. Now you're probably thinking, well, hey, Russell Wilson has a decent wide receiver and tight end core with Tyler Lockett, Doug Baldwin, Jimmy Graham, who's been playing decent lately. But here's the problem. The offensive line. What people do not realize, what people cannot comprehend, is how difficult it is to actually make plays when your offensive line is inept. Because Russell Wilson, really, the record speaks it, because not a lot of times, but a few times, he's not been able to really make plays, period. Like in the beginning of the season, he was just trying to find every chance. That's why they were getting by with what seemed like such little points on the board and overall quality, because of that fact. The offensive line was inept. They did not have Dwayne Brown. They had nobody. No running game. But you know who they had? Wilson. They had Wilson. He's the one who made all the plays. You look at this guy. Physically, he's way smaller than Tom Brady or Carson Wentz. But that's not the point. The point besides that, the point is that his weaponry is so small. It's so kind of just not even there at all. He has really nobody. He has himself. He counts for more than 80% of the yards on his team. He right now is on track for a record of percentage of total offensive yards on his team. To me, that's an MVP. That's the most valuable player. He is the most valuable player by far on his team and in the NFL right now. I don't care if he throws 10 interceptions. Period. He is the dude who has time and time again proved he can make plays when there is nothing left on the table. A lot of quarterbacks nowadays, hey, what are we down? We're down 10 points and you got 5 minutes left. Wilson would say, nothing's impossible. And he would go for the W because that's who he is. He knows he can make plays, and he's done that time and time again. So I don't care if you throw kitchen sink at me. Philadelphia Eagles, Carson Wentz, he's an outstanding QB. Tom Brady, you make everybody look like crap. But period, Russell Wilson is the dude that knows how to do all. Sure, his stats aren't amazing. They're amazing, but sure, they're not as good as the other candidates. But if you look at what's around him, and you look at how he's played with that being said, you really can't say anything about that. That's why Chris Collinsworth cannot stop talking about Russell Wilson, because he knows how to play. He knows how to get the ball, and he knows how to get the TD. So there you guys go. There's my opinion on why Russell Wilson deserves MVP candidate award. He deserves to get that MVP because he is the most valuable player ever. Just kidding, not ever, but he's definitely this year he's the most valuable player. Period.